So we have right now this game. Okay, he went with the king to f8. Rook f7. Finish.
Queen.
This h pawn
Oh,
would be a
queen
draw.
draws. Amruta, queen draws.
Draw.
Queen draw. Rook e8, king e8, and king g3. So you have only move rook g7 now. Actually, for Magnus to win this, not easy. Look at Wei, so calm, cool, collected.
But Magnus would know this book endgame. This is a book endgame, no?
It's very difficult to calculate this. Oh, Magnus played it. Magnus blunders. Wei is able to hold this now. King f4. King f3, king f4. Wow. But how to win that endgame is a question. King f3. Rook h7, king g4.
Papre.
Has Magnus seen a win or what?
Too quick.
King f7, king e7, h4. Ooh, look at Magnus. He knows now he's botched it up.
Oh.
h3, king g3. He's going to win. He's going to draw this by a tempo king g2.
So maybe he didn't find it, Sagar. He didn't find a win.
Yeah.
He did try.
But there was a win. There was a win.
How? I'm very curious later.
And now check, Amruta. Don't go to h1. Oh, here, very important. Yeah, queen. Draw. Wei manages to hold. Wow. Well, Magnus Carlsen missed a great winning chance in the game. This was maybe the critical moment of the game. We will come back to this position and discuss more on how Magnus could have actually converted this into a win for himself. But first, let me just show you a very basic position which will help you to understand the intricacies. Okay, so the basic position is this one. It's a very standard Lucena on the board. So you give a check. You push the king away because if it comes to f6, the pawn queens, the white pawn is going that way. Let's say it goes king h7. And now a very important move here is building a bridge. Rook g4. And you might say, what is happening? Well, the point is that after king f7, check, king e6, check, king f6, check, king e5, check, and rook e4, white wins. Magnus Carlsen studied this when he was maybe 8 years old or even younger. And many of you would know this. This is the standard winning technique called Lucena position or building a bridge. Now we go to the game of Magnus. And the things become more complicated here because black has a h pawn. So it's like a fight. So what happened in the game is Wei went rook e1 here. Magnus queened. I actually made a rook and then he took king takes. And the problem was that the black king could actually come out of this file. Earlier the rook was cutting him. And then came this. Magnus tried to run with his king, but black king was quick and he queened. And the game ended in a draw. By the way, very important small detail. If a check is given here, king f1 is an important move. Because I think you can also think about king h1 here. But okay, it's not the best technique. I think king f1, but in some positions it could land you in trouble. But king f1 is a draw. Now going back, how to win this position? So the key move here, instead of making a queen, was to cut the king off with rook g7. Now this position had been reached many times, but after check, how do we continue? So first you go in front of the king. Now you think that you are wasting time. So black goes king h3 here, trying to push his own queen. But this is where there are a couple of ways to win. I will show you the bridge building method. The other way is for black to keep waiting, and we'll also look at that. King h3, and now you build the bridge with rook g5. You attack the pawn. So if he pushes, now he has two ways. He can attack your rook back or he can push. If he pushes, You bring your king out, threatening to queen. He goes, by the way, if he plays rook e1, don't hurry. Don't try to queen because it's a draw. You go king d6 and the rook comes on e5 to build a bridge. And if he takes here, you get that crucial tempo that your king is not on e8 but on e7 and you win this game. Just to show you how to win this. King g3, blocking the file for now, bringing the king out, king here, and rook moves away, check, and you win. So in this position, after king d7, rook d1 check, king e6, and building the bridge. So there comes Lucena in great help for us. Now, after king h3, if rook g5, if you play king h4, then comes rook g6. I lower the bridge and is just winning. King d7, check here, rook blocks, rook here, and now once again rook e6, important. Check, king comes here, come back, and queen, and white wins this. This is king is too near. So king h4, after rook g5, both moves h4 and king h4 do not win. Win for white. So another way, by the way, after king h3 is rook king d7, and this is a very tricky way to win because I'm threatening to queen. So you give a check, I go here, you go here, king f7, check, king here. And now I'm threatening to queen still, king h6, rook here, and king h5. So I won this pawn, and then I'll go back and win. So this is a tricky way to win. But I like the bridge building method. Now let's go and check if black waits here, what to do. So you still do the same thing. You go rook g6, king h3, king f7, rook f1, check, here, block, here, block. And now king g7, king h7, and you win. So building a bridge would have led to white winning. The very important thing was that you should not have let the black king come out. Rook g7, cutting the king off, and then not rushing. Like here, let's say if you go king h3, now e8 queen is very much fine. You know, this is fine. This is winning because you are in time. Just see here, 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 and here. It's very much fine. But when you play in this position, check, king here, and now king h3, this is where things become complicated because if you are very straightforward and if you try to, just even in such a situation, make a, here queen is okay, but if you give a check, king here, let's say rook e1, king d7, and here if you try to queen, this is not going to work out. So in such positions you have to play it carefully, building the bridge with rook g6, keeping the king cut off and protecting your own pawn is a very key idea, and this we learned from the Lucena. So I hope that you were able to gain a few insights. It was a complex endgame, one that, if Magnus can't find it with some time on his clock, it's not easy. But I hope you will be able to make use of these ideas in your games. You can't remember it move to move or position by position, but these are ideas. Once you assimilate them, at some point they will help you in your tournament. This is Sagar Shah signing off. Bye bye.